Okay. So good. So Bali, yes, previous session, we actually had again our sharing. We discussed our quiz at the same time. We had our sharing on the different headlines, no? Binigyan ko kayo ng parang general theme or topic, no, for you to look for a news, and then you have to share it, no? So for refreshing lang, the first headline that we had is all about Philippines shifts to K to 12 curriculum. By the way, am I audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So please tell me if I'm not audible, or later pag mag-share screen ko, you will experience technical problem, no? So please tell me. So again, the first headline that we had is all about Philippines shifts to K to 12 curriculum. The second one is the nature deficit syndrome on the rise among school children, especially no kung anong nangyaring pandemic that our students really, or children, they cannot go out sa bahay nila. They were just exposed to gadgets, no? The third one we had, teachers are reluctant to teach beyond the written curriculum. We also have co-curricular activities, learning opportunities, or distraction. So we actually had a discussion, a very nice discussion on if the co-curricular activities, no, can it be a learning opportunity or a distraction to students. At the same time, I think we also have another one, no, the extracurricular one, no. Although yung extracurricular, it is more on, of course, hindi naman siya out of the context of the lesson, but it is more on, ano ba, harnessing the talent of the students. Na? But for co-curricular kasi, it is more on academic part at some point. No? So if it is a learning opportunity or a distraction. The fifth headline that we had, parents get involved in school learning, no? If it is yung mga parents natin, kung involved ba yung parents natin sa learning ng mga bata, no? Okay ba siya? Positive ba ang effect, no? Or positive ba ang effect and then impact of that, no? Because as we all know naman, meron talaga tayong PTA meeting every time na meron tayong parang core distribution, ano talaga, no, na pumupunta talaga yung parents natin for the parents to know the performance of the students, no. Okay, so because of that, no, the reason why we had that discussion, because parang yan yung naging sakop ng tinatawag nating curriculum. As of the moment, I told you sa previous session natin that during our discussion pa, no, that recorded session or recorded lecture that I have uploaded, parang meron pa tayong hindi pa klaro kung ano talaga yung definition ng curriculum, no? Even siguro at the middle of the discussion, or sa buong discussion ng curriculum, parang hindi pa talaga natin masisink in kung what is really the definition of curriculum. Because again, I've been telling you that the concept of curriculum is very wide, no? When you look at a particular school, a whole activity of, or school activities that is actually part of a curriculum, inside the classroom, merong nangyayaring concept na tinatawag nating curriculum. So for this time, I will share my screen. We will be talking about more pa about curriculum. Is that visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Please again tell me if yung screen nawawala or yung audio nawawala. Okay. So we'll be talking about the teacher as a knower of curriculum. So lesson 1, the school curriculum, we have here the definition. It's actually a very long run discussion because previous discussions we do have introductory part of curriculum, no, ang haba ng discussion. So during this time we'll be talking about definition, nature, and scope, no. we have to define curriculum from different perspectives, no? Again, marami ng definition na parang nangyari during yung recorded lecture na ginawa. Pero we do have, again, different definitions of curriculum in different perspectives. And of course, we have to describe the nature and scope of your curriculum. Okay, so those are the two desired learning outcomes. Each member of society seems to view school curriculum differently. Hence, there are varied demands on what schools should do and what curriculum should be taught. No? Sabi ko nga, one of the main characteristics siguro ng curriculum is very dynamic and changing. No? Very dynamic in such a matter that iba-iba, no? Kung ano yung magiging ibig sabihin, meron kang particular curriculum, but that curriculum will be represented or will be used in different manner in every society. No? We have K to 12 programs. As we all know, meron tayong track na STEM, TVL for example, we have a gas track, we have ABM, no? But hindi lahat ng schools ay merong track na ganoon, no? Merong schools lang na especially nung nasa mga remote areas, no? Merong track lang na for TVL for example. Okay? See that the curriculum is very dynamic and of course changing. Why changing? Because nakadepende kung ano yung need ng society. No? For us, no, we are actually changing from BEC, no, our BEC, naging RBEC, and then K to 12 because yun yung kailangan, no? Ang tinitingnan kasi yung parang Asian na perspective, no? Parang according to studies tayo na lang daw, parang dalawang country na lang, two countries na lang daw ang hindi pa nag K to 12 na format, kumbaga. Okay? So merong necessity for us to change the curriculum. That some would demand reducing content and shifting emphasis to development of lifelong skills. No? Ang sabi ko nga, curriculum is very dynamic and changing. Yan yung parang hindi natin dapat kalimutan. I actually, I remember during my ano ba yun? Parang may demo ako and then someone asked me, kasi senior high ata yun, someone asked me really what is the definition of curriculum. And then yan parang, excuse me, yan yung parang natutunan ko when during my undergrad years o katong sa masters na really, mo nag-emphasize among teacher no, na ang curriculum is very dynamic and changing. No? Because I think the bottom line, no, the bottom line why we have this concept of curriculum because because of the term dynamic and then changing, dynamic and change, no. So gusto ko na kahit ang daming definition, ang daming characteristics ng curriculum, gusto ko sa inyo that the term dynamic and changing, the term dynamic and change, ma-retain yan sa atin, no, because that is actually the bottom term, no, or characteristics of your curriculum. Okay. So again, some would demand reducing content kasi ang sabi nga nila, we don't need more about social studies. We don't need more about physical education, for example. We need more about lifelong skills na subject. No? So maraming argumentation. Again, because curriculum is dynamic, no, and changing. Nakadepende kung ano yung kinakailangan. Kumbaga. Yeah. The other one, others feel that the development of character has been placed at the backseat of some schools. No, kasi nga, ang sabi nila parang, because kasi yung mga curriculum natin, meron siyang strengths and weaknesses. Meron ding parang binigyang emphasis yung curriculum natin. No? For K-12 curriculum, for example, parang ang emphasize niya is to stretch the number of years for us to reduce, hindi naman to reduce, no, but to decongest the subjects. Okay? Ilagay ko lang dito sa chat. Parang i-decongest ang wala ko nagtambal, no, NUSEP, no, for decongestion. To decongest subject. Kasi nga, according to them, no, the previous curriculum daw, grabe gidaw, no, full pack gidaw, no, ang arrangement ng subjects natin. No? First year high school, meron na tayong first year high school, may ganitong subjects na tayo, no? Second year high school, ito na naman. Third year high school, and so on. So, the reason why K-12, one of the characteristics of K-12 is to decongest, no, subjects. Okay? And because of that, sabi daw nila sa previous or sa mga different curricula, sabi nila na parang napag-iwanan yung character development ng estudyante. That is why if you actually heard news, no, you would notice talaga na parang gusto nilang ibalik yung GMRC sa basic education. Kasi nga parang yung curriculum daw natin, we are more focused on parang ano ba, on developing this part, no? Dili dapita sa character development. Okay? That is why sinusulong talaga nila yung pagbalik ng isang asignaturang GMRC. But then again, the argument naman of other people, they actually think that yeah, character development is still important, no? But according to them, hindi kailangan ng isang subject lang ang character development, no? How about we integrate character development in every subject? So yun yung parang naging parang yung idea para naman hindi siya maging dagdag na naman siya ng subject and then para hindi siya concentrated, no? At least sa lahat ng subjects, no, across subjects, no, for example, meron talagang tinatawag or integration of character development. Okay. And then, more debates are emerging on the use of languages in the classroom, kung ano ba talagang gagamitin, no? Kailangan ba talagang gamitin yung lingua franca ng Pilipinas or yung vernacular of your community or your place, no? Kasi nga sabi nila, no, kasi nang nangyari yan, sabi nila kasi the reason why, one of the reasons, no, why Japan, Korea, yung mga countries na they are using their own dialect, they are using their own vernacular, uh, parang they are more ano daw progressive. So yan yung parang naging justification nila. So kaya gusto nila na Filipino daw yung gamitin natin na medium of instruction, no? Kaya nga the good thing here, no, because of the K-12 program, binigyan ng emphasis yung vernacular natin, no? So if you are in Marawi City, of course your vernacular is Maranao. So kaya meron tayong MTB MLE, no? So that will run from grade 1 to grade 3. Okay? So kung naapog ka sa Iligan o Cebuano pud ka, okay, ana siya. Kung naapog ka sa Manila, for example, Metro Manila, okay, Filipino po na siya. Pampanga, so napo dito, no? So that is actually a debate. And then the good thing now for the K-12 curriculum, at some point parang na-address nila yung issue. Okay. But for the case really of parang sole na medium of instruction, Filipino, parang hindi talaga siya nangyari. No? During my undergrad years, merong gustong isulong university, no, na Filipino daw yung gamitin na a medium of instruction, even sa mga directions and signages, no? Kasi di ba pa, if you're going to look at different signages, ang nakalagay talaga English, no? Naka-English gina siya, no standby, for example, no fixer, naka-English gid kayo. So, during my undergrad years, yung Filipino department, sinusulong talaga nila yung paggamit ng Filipino as the medium of instruction. At the same time, gamitin talaga siya na language, no, sa buong university. Okay. So actually mahabang debate yan, no, because of course some of the scholars will not agree on that. Next, there seems to be confusion about what curriculum should really be, no? Kasi nga ang sabi ko nga mahababang istorya ang curriculum, no? Kung saan siya nagsimula, no, at saan siya mag-end kumbaga, no? Kasi everything na ginawa natin, like for example what we are doing now, is actually part of the concept of curriculum. Okay. So let's try to look at here no, some more discussion on curriculum and of course the definitions later part. So whether curriculum is taken in its narrow or broad view, we cannot deny the fact that curriculum should be understood by teachers, no? Especially the teachers, kasi yung teachers yung implementers ng curriculum. Okay? And other stakeholders, sino ba yung mga stakeholders natin? No, of course, we have parents, no? So for curriculum affects all teachers, students, parents, politicians, businessmen, professionals, government officials, or even the common people. Okay. I would like to ask somebody from the group, from this room, kung yung pag-change ba ng K to 12 curriculum, no, from previous curriculum, may naging problema ba? May naapektuhan ba? Anybody? May naging epekto ba ang pagbabago or yung pag-change ng curriculum from the previous and then K to 12? Meron ba?
Yes, sir.
Meron, no? I think, how about sa parents? Anong comments ng parents nung unang nilabas yung K to 12? May narinig ba kayo or something?
Mapapalaki daw yung gastos nila.
Papalaki. Yes, I think yan yung parang na very common na narinig ko sa parents no na ay dagdag na naman ang 2 years, may dagdag na naman ang gastos kasi of course although free siya, no? Meron kasing pa-project yan. And then of course, the senior high, the 2 years na additional, senior high na yan siya. And of course, it involves technical skills, no? So kung technical skills yan, agay, nag-require na siya dako-dakong kwarta, no? Mag-invest yun gamay ang parents. So that is really true, no? For that particular example pa lang, we can say really that whatever the change of curriculum, it actually affects the different stakeholders. And that is true. No? So, klarong-klaro yan. So, of course, like many concepts in education, there seems to be no common definition of curriculum. So, wala tayong common definition of curriculum, children. Ha? Okay, so wala tayong common definition. Actually, no, right after this session, I think we can create our own definition of curriculum. No? Okay, again, wide kaayo ang scope sa term na curriculum. Okay. And then the concept of curriculum is sometimes characterized as fragmentary, elusive, and confusing. Yung nga sabi ko, actually during my saan ba? Kung hindi ako nakapagturo ng curriculum development, parang meron akong parang confusing part kung ano ba talaga yung curriculum. No? Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, yung definition lang talaga, actually it's a characteristic not a definition, no? Na alam ko, pag sinasabing curriculum is dynamic and changing. Yun lang. But for the technical definitions, no, of your curriculum, wala talaga akong mabigay talaga because yung definite because again, it is very confusing, no? Confusing siya. That is why I told you that even you can create your own definition of curriculum. Okay. Next, the word originates from Latin word currere, no? That's currere, referring to the oval track, no? Upon which Roman chariots. Are you familiar with that oval track? Ano sa Roman, no? Na dira sila mag-race. Okay? So that is actually daw the parang history ng term ng curriculum, currere. Okay. It refers to the oval track upon which Roman chariots raced. Next. Okay, for the New International Dictionary defines curriculum as the whole body of a course in an educational institution. So meron siyang whole body of a course in an educational institution. So meaning to say, if we are referring to, ano ba, MSU Main Campus, no? MSU Main Campus is an academic institution. So whatever the activities inside that academic institution that is part of curriculum or by a department. So if you are from ano ba? If you are from teaching Arabic, no, for example, for that particular matters, all of the activities sa teaching sa nangyayari sa teaching Arabic that is part of curriculum. Okay? If you are from public administration, lahat ng activities ng public administration that is part of curriculum. Okay. While the Oxford English Dictionary defines curriculum as courses taught in schools or universities. So like po diya no? Si Oxford English, naka-emphasize talaga siya that those are the courses being taught in schools and universities. No? If you have a subject on Public Administration 101, that is a curriculum. If you have subject on PED or PE1, that is curriculum. Okay? So, iba't iba, but then again, if you're going to look at, meron silang common denominator when we say curriculum. So let's try to look at some definitions of your curriculum. The first, definition is coming from Daniel Tanner, 1980. According to according to Daniel, curriculum daw is a plan and guided set of learning experiences and intended outcomes formulated through the systematic reconstruction of knowledge and experiences under the auspices of the school for the learner's continuous and willful growth in personal social competence. O, diba? Nosebleed kayo siya og definition si Daniel Tanner. But then again, if you are to look at, when we say curriculum daw, those are planned and guided. No? I would like you to imagine your, ano ba, your course, for example. Okay? So of course, sa kurso natin, alam natin yung mga subjects natin. Alam din natin yung parang arrangement ng subjects natin for first semester, first year, first semester, first year, second semester, mga ganun. Merong particular arrangement. So it is actually a planned and guided set of learning experiences and intended outcomes. Please take note na yung every subject, no, for example, every subject ninyo, meron talagang ginagawa si teacher. Nagle-lecture si teacher, ano ba ba? Nag, nagbigay ng quiz si teacher, nagbigay ng activity si teacher, yung estudyante may presentation, mga ganyan. Okay? Because merong parang gustong kunin si teacher yung tinatawag natin na intended outcomes. No? Yung pinakita ko kanina, that is our learning intended outcomes, kumbaga. Okay? That at the end of this lesson, yun yung makukuha natin. Okay? And then formulated through the systematic reconstruction of knowledge and experiences. Please take note that you cannot enroll PE1 if you will not enroll PE2. Perhaps you cannot enroll Math 15 kung wala kang Math 2, no? Hindi ka pwede mag-enroll ng anong tawag diyan, yung algebra kung hindi ka you cannot enroll trigonometry, which is Math 15, if wala kang algebra, for example. No? You cannot enroll, ano kaya mga prerequisite dyan? Public administration kaya. Ano yung subject na hindi pwede mong ma-enroll? Bigyan from public ad, meron ba dito? Hello?
PE1.
P1, yung major subject. Can someone give me a major subject na hindi pwedeng makuha kung hindi makuha yung isang subject? Example. An example? Nor, Haifa, Naifa, are you still here?
Yes, sir. Nakalimutan lang, sir. I think pay 100 siguro yun.
No, yung mga ganyan, no? Meron yung sasabihin ng inyong advisor, no, na you cannot enroll this if hindi mo pa ito nakakuha, no? So meaning to say, our subjects, they are, no, specific subjects lang naman, no? Our subjects, specific subjects, they are formulated through systematic reconstruction of knowledge and experiences. We cannot just enroll subjects, no, kung ano lang yung gusto natin. We do have this particular arrangement, no, prerequisites per se. Okay. So for the learner's continuous and willful growth in personal social competence, if we're going to look at our 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 curriculum, no, yung practices na ginawa sa inyong major sa public administration, for example, no subject sa King 5, for example, you would notice that parang hindi lang i-mold yung mga minds natin for us to be an intelligent person, no, kumbaga. But parang train din yung social competence natin. That is why we have to socialize people. Okay? Next thing is from the definition of Pratt, 1980. According to Pratt, it is a curriculum daw is a written document that systematically describes goals, plan, objectives, content, learning activities, evaluation, procedures, and so forth. No? I'm sure nakita na lahat ng prospectus, what I mean, syllabus. No? Nakakita lahat ng syllabus, and then if you are to notice your syllabus, meron talaga yung goals, my objectives, my content, excuse me. Parang nandyan yung listahan ng subjects, tsaka kung ano yung kailangan gawin, no? Activities, and then evaluation kung ano yung gagawing evaluation ni teacher, and so on. Meron pa yung references yung iba. Okay? So that is now a written document, no? So a curriculum is a written document, describes goals, plans. So that is it. So meaning to say, our syllabus is actually part of what we call curriculum. Another definition is the contents of a subject, according to Schobert 1987, the contents of a subject, concepts and tasks to be acquired, planned activities, the desired learning outcomes and experiences, product of culture, and an agenda to reform society make up a curriculum. Actually, if we're going to look at again, para pa rin siyang syllabus natin. No? Parang iba lang yung mga terms na ginamit. No? But for according to Schubert 1987, the main agenda here is to reform the society. That is why we really have, no, we really have, if you're a teacher, we really have parang activities, no, na para siyang pang real world na activities. Sulat ko siya. Life situations na activities. No? Because according to Schubert, that particular curriculum, no, the main goal of that is to reform society. Next, according to Haas 1987, a curriculum includes of the experiences that individual learners have in a program of education whose purpose is to achieve broad goals and related specific active objectives, which is planned in terms of a framework of theory and research or past and present professional practice. Actually, kung titingnan again, balikan natin yung mukha ng ating syllabus. According to Haas, no, ang dinidescribe niya parang syllabus din, no? Iniba lang yung mga terms dyan. All of the experiences that individual learners have, no? Lahat ng goals, no, yung goals na nilalagay sa what do you call this, syllabus, those are actually the experiences na dapat makuha ng mga learners, individual learners natin. And then, whose purpose is to achieve broad goals and related specific objectives. No? And then, of course, we're going to look at which is planned in terms of a framework of theory. Our curriculum, the K-12 curriculum, meron siyang naka-anchor na theories. Of course, that is actually part of making your curriculum. Dapat meron talaga siyang theories, no, to back up. Okay. The reason why na merong tinatawag na curriculum ng public administration because it actually came from a theory. No? Meron talagang basis of creating public administration na kurso dyan, teaching Arabic, for example. Okay? So which is planned in terms of a framework of theory and research or past and present professional practice. Okay? So that's according to Haas 1987. Next definition is it's coming from Grundy 1987. Curriculum daw is a program of activities by teachers and teacher and pupils designed so that pupils will attain so far as possible certain educational and other schooling ends or objectives. No? Again, kung titingnan natin yung syllabus natin, lahat ng gagawin yung mga activities na nakalista doon at saka yung gagamiting assessment tools, yun yung activity na gagawin ni teacher. Yung pupils naman, yung activities na nakasaad, and then of course the goals. Okay? So again, para ma-attain daw, no, for as possible, a certain educational and other schooling ends or objectives. So gusto ko i-picture out lang ninyo muna ang syllabus natin. Okay? And then of course, if you're familiar with K-12 program, you may also picture that out. Next, again, according to Goodland and Sue, 1992, it is a plan that consists of learning opportunities for a specific time frame and place. If we're going to look at, merong mga syllabus na nililagyan talaga nilang weeks. Week 1 is ito, week 2 is ganito. May specific time frame. No? Then meron din siyang tools, no, that aims to bring about behavior changes. Now, for example, kung nag-discuss tayo ng definition ng curriculum, siguro magpapa-essay ako. Okay? So, tool. So, the essay, the testing here, essay, is actually a tool that aims to bring about behavior changes. Okay? In students as a result of planned activities and includes all learning experiences received by students with the guidance of course, the school. Okay. I think we still have another definition from Cronbeth 1992. I think this is the last one. According to Cronbeth, curriculum daw provides answers to 3 questions. What knowledge, skills, and values are most worthwhile? The second one, why are they most worthwhile? Okay. And the third one, how should the young acquire them? So different, very different din kang Cronbeth, no? You have to, curriculum daw provides answers to 3 questions. But if you are to answer the 3 questions, pwede ra ka maghimo og syllabus, no? Kay what knowledge, skills man, lista lang. Dayon, how should the young acquire them? So paano ba, for example, if you want to teach them addition, okay, paano mo ituro yung addition? So by lecture, mga ganyan. So para pa rin siyang syllabus natin. But again, this is not limited to syllabus. Next, here are some points of a view of other curricular risks. I think there are 2 views of the definition of curriculum. Since the concept and meaning of curriculum are shaped by a person's point of view, this has added to fragmentation and some confusion. I told you that if we are going to look at the previous slides, yung mga definitions na yun are coming from specific people. Okay? Ito yung mga definitions nila based on their point of view. So POV nila. Okay? That is why walang gaanong specific talaga na definition of curriculum because again, the definition of curriculum nakadepende siya sa point of view ng person who defines the curriculum. And because of that, it added to fragmentation and some confusion. So nagiging confusing na siya kasi sino ba yung totoong definition, sino yung hindi. Okay? The next one, points of view about the curriculum can either be traditional or progressive. So again, there are 2 points of view about curriculum. We have traditional and progressive. According to the person's philosophical, psychological, and even psychological orientations. So kung titingnan natin yung mga tao nag-define ng curriculum, if you are going to really check on it, their definitions are either traditional or progressive. Sorry. Okay. Next. So let's try to look at the curriculum from traditional points of view. So bakit ba naging traditional siya? According to Robert M. Hutchins, views curriculum as permanent studies. Traditional ito, permanent studies where rules of grammar, reading, rhetoric, logic, and mathematics for basic education are emphasized. The 3 R's, kumbaga, reading, writing, and arithmetic, should be emphasized in basic education, while liberal education should be the emphasis in college. Yung mga LAs, kumbaga natin, yung mga JEC courses or mga other subjects natin like English 1, English 2, mga ganun. Okay? So those are liberal education should be the emphasis in college. And yung psychology, yung mga ganyan, those are liberal education. According to Robert Hutchins, in the traditional points of view, dapat daw ang education natin should be more on the 3 R's. According to Hutchins, that is a very traditional points of view. Next, according to Arthur Bestor, as an essentialist believes that the mission of the school should be intellectual training. Hence, curriculum should focus on the fundamental intellectual disciplines of grammar. I don't know if you have your subject sa CPRT, yung philosophy of education, kung ano ba, meron talaga yung mga tinatawag na essentialist, So, when it comes to education, nakadepende yung focus nila. See, ang sabi ko kanina, dapat talaga may theory yung curriculum because uh, your curriculum, hindi siya mapoprosper kung wala talagang theory. No? If your curriculum is anchored on essentialist, no, essentialist yan, a philosophical view, sorry, what I mean is philosophical view, your curriculum should focus more on grammar, literature, and writing. Okay, so it should include mathematics, science, history, and foreign languages also. So see, if you're going to look at the points of view, the POV of Robert Hutchins and Bistor, somewhat the same. Okay, very traditional. Another POV from Joseph Schwab thinks that the sole source of curriculum is a discipline. So this is subject areas such as science, mathematics, social studies, English, and many more. In college, academic disciplines are labeled as humanities, sciences, languages, mathematics, among others. So sa kanya din, discipline, no? Meron talagang focus, no? If you're going to get the definition or the POV of Hutchins and Bistor, meron talaga dapat focus lang ang curriculum daw natin sa basic ed or sa tertiary level accordingly. Okay? Next, according to Phoenix, asserts that curriculum should consist entirely of knowledge which comes from various disciplines. Okay? So knowledge, if we're going to look at mga knowledge ni Poros Dirino, okay? Grammar, literature, arithmetic, yung mga ganyan. Knowledge, no? That is the POV in traditional aspect. Another one, collectively, from the traditional view of theorists like Hutchins, Schwab, Bistor, and Phoenix, curriculum can be defined as a field of study. Okay? Kung titingnan ninyo, more on particular knowledge topics siya. Okay? So defined as a field of study, you have to take note on this because during the board exam, I think very common na lalabas when it comes to curriculum kay this part. I don't know if most likely dito siya naglalaro. Okay? Sa mga theories and philosophical views. Okay? So curriculum is highly academic and is concerned with broad historical, philosophical, psychological, and social issues. Kung titingnan ninyo, di ba, meron dong pa-history, no? Philosophical, psychological, and social issues. If we're going to look at very highly academic ang traditional points of view ng curriculum. Curriculum is mostly written documents such as syllabus, again, course of study. Course of study mean to say your prospectus, your books and references. Okay? Yung books natin, of course, kasali yan, sinatawag natin na written curriculum, tama? Okay? And references where knowledge is found but is used as a means to accomplish intended goals. Okay? So, mostly daw written documents ang curriculum daw natin. So, that is POV traditional, points of view traditional. Let's try to look at the progressive points of view of your curriculum. The first one is, of course, in the person of John Dewey. I'm sure you're very familiar with John Dewey. So John Dewey believes that education is experiencing. It's all about experience. Okay? Because that is actually the parang naka-label na ni John Dewey, no? So reflective thinking is a means that unifies curricular elements that are tested by application, no? Sa traditional, it's more on knowledge talaga. Okay. It's more on ang knowledge mo nakukuha mo talaga sa particular subject. Okay. But for John Dewey, it's all about experiences. Okay? So because of these experiences, for you to experience, of course, meron talagang tinatawag na tested by application. Next, according to Colin Castle and Ken Campbell, viewed curriculum as all experiences children have under the guidance of teachers. No? Hindi lang yung quiz na nangyayari. No? Hindi lang yung pagtuturo, pag-lecture ni teacher. But all activities and experiences that the children can have, no, during the guidance of the teachers. Yung paglalaro, for example, even the arrangement of your schedule sa bahay, sa eskwelahan ninyo, no, kasali yung recess time, that is still part of it. No? Part of experiences and on. Okay. So again, if we're going to look at the idea of the progressive points of view sa curriculum natin, it's more on experiences siya. Another in the person of Smith, Stanley, and Shore likewise defined curriculum as a sequence of potential experiences set up in schools for the purpose of disciplining children and youth in group ways of thinking and acting. So experiences po siya. Again, hindi to experiences na hindi naman yung naglalaro lang yung estudyante. All experiences na ginawa ng teacher. Nag-role play si teacher, nagpadula si teacher, nagpa-quiz bee si teacher, ganyan. Nagpa-field trip si teacher, all experiences, potential experiences. Another is from March and Willis, also viewed curriculum as all the experiences in the classroom, which are planned and enacted by the teacher and also learned by the students. Okay, more on experiences. So summary of all points of view, let's try to look at. No? I think we have to combine the two. Kumbaga. So accordingly, curriculum daw is what is taught in school. Okay, yan yung basic. A set of subjects. Because meron pa subjects, no? Kasi curriculum. A content, a program of studies, a set of materials, a sequence of courses. Pag sinasabing sequence, yung arrangement, no? Na dapat mauna ang PE1, PE2, na. A set of performance objectives, everything that goes within the school that is curriculum. Okay. It is what is taught inside. It is what being taught inside and outside of school directed by the teacher. No? Like for example, inside merong klase. But for the outside naman, siguro may pa-activity si teacher na kailangan kang mag-field sampling. Okay? Outside of school, but then again, directed by the teacher. Everything planned by school, a series of experiences undergone by learners in school, or what individual learner experiences as a result of school. Okay? That is curriculum. Another, curriculum is the total learning experiences of the learner under the guidance of the teacher. So that is curriculum. So those are the summary of all points of view. I think we still, okay. So those are the summary of all points of view, no, combining the POV of traditional perspective sa curriculum and of course the progressivist, the progressive part. Okay. So sa progressive, more on experiences, and then subjects naman, content, set of subjects and content nasa traditional. Okay. So those are the summary of all points of view. And that is the end of lesson 1. Okay. So of course, and then right after this one, end of lesson 1, and then I will be posting an activity. Wait for it. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Sir.
We're still here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So since we're done with lesson 1, although that is a fast discussion, but anyway, nakapost na ako ng PDF form ng file, format of the presentation, so you can just look at it. No? So you may want to read the different definitions of curriculum, so you can have that. So, and although at the same time we also have here our recorded session naman. So I think we have to end up to this time because I will be posting your activities for lesson 1. Okay?
Noted, sir.
Okay, sige. Thank you so much, no? But before that, if you don't have any questions, okay. Anyway, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask me sa GC, no? You can PM me also if that is a very personal question. Okay? So if you don't have any questions, I will now stop the recording.